Introduction. Why decluttering before 70? Matters. Have you ever realized how certain items in your home simply occupy space, yet somehow it's hard to part with them? As the years pass, clutter quietly accumulates. Outdated furniture piles of paperwork, cherished keepsakes tucked away in forgotten corners. But here's the reality. Before turning 70, there are specific household items you should consider clearing out. And it's not just about freeing up room. It's about shaping a home that feels lighter, more manageable, and more aligned with the life you truly want to enjoy. In today's video, we'll highlight 6 types of belongings that may be weighing you down more than you realize. Whether it's items kept out of habit, possessions that no longer meet your needs, or things that subtly add tension to your daily life, you'll discover how letting go can bring surprising relief. More importantly, you'll see that decluttering isn't about losing something. It's about gaining freedom. Let's begin. Outdated and unused furniture. One of the biggest contributors to household clutter is old, worn furniture that no longer benefits you. Over the years, it's easy to accumulate extra chairs, tables, cabinets, pieces that once served a purpose. But now, they gather dust, occupying precious space. The truth is, keeping furniture that's no longer practical or comfortable doesn't just weigh down your home, it adds mental strain. Consider this: that bulky armchair tucked into a corner that no one sits in anymore. The oversized dining table that hasn't hosted a family meal in ages. The dresser with drawers that stick every time you try to open them. These pieces aren't enriching your life, they're cluttering it. As we grow older, too much furniture makes movement harder, raises the risk of tripping, and creates a visual and emotional sense of heaviness. Take George, for example. He's 74 and has lived in the same home for decades. Over the years, he gathered furniture, some inherited, some gifted, some bought. At first, it felt warm and inviting, but slowly he realized his home was becoming harder to live in. Cleaning became exhausting. Walking from room to room felt like navigating an obstacle course. Some rooms resembled storage areas, not living spaces. Then one day, his daughter casually mentioned, "Why does your living room have 5 chairs when only 2 ever get used?" That's when it clicked. George started with one room. He let go of the broken chair with the shaky leg. He removed the oversized coffee table that blocked the path, and with each piece he released, something unexpected happened. He felt lighter. His home felt more spacious, more peaceful, and more importantly, far easier to live in. That's the thing about furniture. When it serves a purpose, it adds value. But when it becomes dead weight, it saps your energy and overwhelms your space. You don't need rooms overflowing with furniture to feel at home. In fact, the fewer pieces you have, the more you appreciate what's left. So ask yourself, when was the last time I truly used this? If you can't remember, that may be a sign it's time to let go. Because a home that's easy to move through, easy to clean, and genuinely peaceful is far more valuable than any unused chair or dusty table cluttering your space. Clothing you never wear. Most of us at some point cling to clothes we haven't worn in years. Maybe it's a suit that hasn't fit in a decade, a dress saved for a moment that never came, or a drawer full of old t-shirts, untouched and forgotten. But once you approach 70, it's time to take an honest look at your wardrobe and ask, Do I truly need all these clothes? Because the truth is, a closet full of things you don't wear isn't just wasting space. It's adding mental clutter to your everyday life. Clothes carry memories. Maybe it's that jacket from a meaningful trip, the jeans you once loved, or shoes that look great but hurt every time you wear them. Even if you're not thinking about them, they sit there, quietly, taking up space, and for many, letting go of clothes can feel like letting go of the past. But here's an important reminder. Your wardrobe should reflect who you are today, not who you were years ago. Take Carol, for instance. At 72, her closet was bursting with clothes. But she found herself wearing the same handful of items week after week. She had dresses from the 1980s, jackets untouched for decades, and elegant shoes that looked nice, but left her feet sore. Each morning, she faced an overwhelming wall of choices, most of which no longer fit her lifestyle, or her body, or her comfort. Until one day, she decided enough was enough. She emptied her entire closet and started sorting. She emptied her entire closet and sorted everything into 3 piles. 1, for the clothes she loved and wore often. 1 for items that no longer fit or felt comfortable. And 1 for the things she'd been holding on to, just in case. That last pile was the toughest. But as she gradually let go of those untouched garments, something powerful happened. She realized she wasn't losing anything. She was gaining space, gaining simplicity, and creating a wardrobe that made life easier every single day. That's the real key. When you clear out old clothing, you're not just tossing fabric. You're streamlining your mornings, making it easier to find outfits you actually enjoy, and removing the emotional weight of what no longer fits your life. And here's the beautiful part. Those clothes could benefit someone else. Instead of gathering dust, they could be warming someone who truly needs them. So if your closet is overflowing with maybe someday clothes, pause and ask yourself, do I genuinely need this? If it doesn't fit, if it's uncomfortable, if you haven't worn it in years, it's time to let it go. Because at this stage of life, you deserve a wardrobe that serves you, not one that overwhelms you. If you're still watching and these tips are resonating, drop a comment below with the words number 2 to let me know you're following along. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to hit that button and turn on the bell icon so you never miss another tip for living with more clarity and ease. Now, let's keep going. Expired medications and old toiletries. One of the most overlooked types of clutter may be hiding in your bathroom cabinet right now. Outdated medications and unused toiletries. They accumulate quietly, without us even realizing. Maybe it's a bottle of aspirin from years ago, a prescription you never finished, or a skincare product you tried once and never used again. Before long, your drawers and shelves are filled with products you don't need. And worse, some may actually pose a health risk. There's a reason medications come with expiration dates. Their potency fades, and in some cases, they can become dangerous. Holding on to expired prescriptions just in case feels harmless. But in reality, if you ever truly need that medication, it's best and safest to get a fresh, doctor-approved version. Still, many of us keep those old bottles, unaware they serve no purpose. They just take up space and add quiet risk to our lives, and the same goes for toiletries. That old lotion that smells off. The sunscreen from who knows when. The perfume you haven't sprayed in over a decade. We often don't realize that skincare and beauty products have shelf lives, too. Using them beyond their prime can cause irritation, or worse, infections. But we hold on, telling ourselves, maybe I'll use it someday. Realistically, if you haven't touched it in months or years, you probably never will. Take James, for instance. At 75, he prided himself on keeping a neat home. But one afternoon, searching for a simple bandage, he opened his bathroom cabinet and was stunned. Expired pain relievers, half-used ointments, old prescriptions for conditions he no longer had. All crammed together in a forgotten mess. So he finally did something about it. He sorted through every bottle and box, tossed the expired ones, and kept only what was safe, current, and useful, and when he was done, he felt relief, not just from the clean cabinet, but from the peace of knowing everything left behind was trustworthy and relevant. This is something many of us overlook. Decluttering your bathroom isn't just about organization, it's about safety. It's about clarity. And it's about surrounding yourself only with what serves you now. So here's what you can do today. Sort through your medications. If they're expired, dispose of them safely. If you have old prescriptions you no longer need, let them go. And when it comes to toiletries, be honest. If you haven't used that bottle or jar in over a year, it's time to say goodbye. Because what you use on your body and what you keep in your home should bring comfort, not confusion. Old papers, documents, and unopened mail paper is one of the most persistent and overlooked forms of clutter in any home. Over time, it piles up silently, on countertops, inside drawers, stuffed into folders or envelopes marked just in case, outdated bills, expired warranties, instruction manuals for appliances you no longer even own. For most people, these papers sit untouched for years. Yet they occupy space in our homes and in our minds. Stacks of mail you meant to open, receipts you meant to file, letters you thought you'd respond to. And suddenly, that little pile becomes a mountain. It's not just physical clutter, it's mental noise. So why do we hold on to it? Often, it's fear. Fear that we'll need it someday. Fear that we'll throw away something important. But here's a helpful truth. Most of what's sitting in those piles is either outdated, duplicated, or irrelevant. And for the few important documents like legal papers, medical records, or tax returns, they can be stored neatly and digitally scanned if needed. Take control of it. Start with one drawer. Sort every piece of paper into one of three piles, important and current. Shred or recycle. Needs immediate action. Toss expired warranties, outdated insurance policies, and manuals for appliances you've long replaced. The result? You reclaim your surfaces, your drawers, and your peace of mind, because nothing feels more overwhelming than trying to find a single important document in a sea of meaningless paper. Staggering, isn't it? And before you reach 70, it's a good time to get ahead of it, because paper clutter does more than just take up space. It subtly adds to your stress. Think about how frustrating it is to search for an important document, only to wade through piles of outdated papers that should have been thrown away years ago, or how mentally draining it feels when unopened mail piles up on the counter. A silent reminder of all the things you haven't gotten to yet. The truth is, the majority of papers we hold on to no longer serve any meaningful purpose. Letting them go can bring a surprising sense of relief. Take Margaret, for example. At 73, her filing cabinet was overflowing. Decades of paperwork, old utility bills, receipts from forgotten purchases, even tax returns from the 1980s. All of it had been sitting there, untouched, for years. One day, while trying to find an important insurance form, she realized how much of her paperwork was outdated and unnecessary, so she made a decision. She would go through every single document. She kept only what was truly essential, and by the time she finished, she had reduced her paperwork by more than half. For the first time in years, she knew exactly where everything was. No more frustration, no more digging. And that's the key. When you declutter your papers, you're not just clearing physical space, you're freeing up mental space. You're lifting the weight of delay, confusion, and what if. And thanks to modern technology, most essential records are now stored digitally, so there's no need to hang on to everything. So where do you begin? Start with fresh, critical eyes. If you haven't looked at it in years, it's probably time to let it go. Shred old bank statements, recycle outdated manuals and documents, toss expired warranties and receipts from purchases long forgotten. Keep only what truly matters: legal records, essential financial documents, and medical papers. Store them in a clean, simple system, so when you need something, you can find it without stress. As for mail, don't let it pile up. Junk mail, toss it immediately. Bills, pay and file the essentials. Newsletters and magazines you never read, cancel them. The goal is simple. Keep only what serves a purpose. Clear out the rest. If you're still watching and finding value here, drop a comment below with the words number 4 to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button. Turn on the bell icon so you don't miss out on the next powerful step. Now let's move forward. Kitchen items. You never use the kitchen. It often becomes one of the most cluttered rooms in the house. Over time, it's easy to accumulate gadgets, tools, and containers that serve no real function anymore. Cabinets overflowing with mismatched Tupperware drawers crammed with duplicate. Utensil shelves filled with pans, dishes, and appliances that gather dust. Before you turn 70, it's the perfect time to reassess what your kitchen really needs, and to let go of the clutter that only adds chaos. Why do we hold on to these things? Sometimes it's sentiment. Other times it's habit. Maybe it's a blender you used once, a fondue set from a long-past party, or fancy china reserved for a special occasion that never comes. You might even find 3 or 4 of the same item. Spatulas, peelers, coffee mugs, all jumbled together, rarely used. But here's the truth. A kitchen full of rarely used items doesn't make life easier. It complicates it. Take Philip, for example. He's 76 and has lived in the same home for decades. Over the years, his kitchen filled with unused appliances, drawers he couldn't close, cabinets stacked so tightly he had to move 5 things to reach one. One day, while reaching for a frying pan, he accidentally knocked over a pile of old baking trays. That was his breaking point. So he got to work. He went section by section, asking himself one clear question. Do I actually use this? If the answer was no, it went into a separate pile. Duplicate utensils? Gone. Expired pantry items. And spices? Tossed. That bread maker from 10 years ago? Donated. When he finished, his kitchen felt completely transformed. More functional, better organized, and, most importantly, easier to navigate. That's the reward. When you clear out the kitchen items that no longer serve you, you create a space that works with you, not against you. Cooking becomes easier, cleaning takes less time, and your kitchen becomes a place of peace, not frustration. You're no longer burdened by cluttered counters or jam-packed cabinets, because here's the truth. You don't need an overflowing kitchen to cook great meals. You only need the essentials. So take a good look around, open up the cabinets, check the drawers, and ask yourself one simple question. When was the last time I actually used this? If it's been years, if it's collecting dust, if you're holding on to it just in case, then it's time to let it go, because a kitchen stocked only with the things you genuinely use isn't just easier to maintain. It makes your daily routine smoother, more enjoyable, and more intentional. Sentimental items that no longer serve you. Now, this next category is perhaps the hardest of all. Sentimental belongings, old letters, gifts from friends or loved ones, souvenirs from vacations, boxes full of keepsakes, collected over decades. These items carry emotional weight. They remind us of people, places, and chapters of our lives, and that's exactly why they're so hard to let go of. But before you turn 70, it's worth asking yourself, are these items bringing me joy or just taking up space? So many people hold on to things out of guilt. A gift from someone who's passed away, birthday cards from long ago, toys and crafts from your children's or grandchildren's younger years. But the truth is, memories aren't stored in objects. They're stored in you, and holding on to everything doesn't preserve the past. It only weighs down your present. Take Diane, for example. She's 78, and over the years, she'd kept countless boxes of letters, souvenirs, and mementos. When she downsized to a smaller house, she came face to face with the reality. An entire storage unit, packed with things she hadn't touched in years. At first, the idea of letting go was terrifying. What if I forget the memories? Will throwing this away feel like erasing a part of my life? But then her mindset began to shift. Instead of keeping everything, she chose to be more intentional. She kept her wedding album, a few heartfelt letters, and a small selection of keepsakes that truly brought her joy. The rest, she let go. Some were donated. Others were photographed before being released. And as she worked through it all, she felt something unexpected, relief. And that's something many people overlook. Letting go of sentimental belongings doesn't mean you're forgetting the past. It means you're making space to fully embrace the present. It's about honoring your life story by curating it with care, keeping only the things that uplift you, not those that burden you. So take a moment. Look at what you've been holding on to. Do you really need every letter, every souvenir, every keepsake? Or can you hold the memory in your heart while letting go of the physical weight in your home? Because at this stage in life, The most precious things aren't the ones collecting dust. They're the ones that bring you peace, clarity, and a sense of freedom every single day. If you're still watching and found these insights helpful, comment number 6 below to let me know you're still with us. And if you haven't already, tap the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our future videos designed to support and inspire you. Final thoughts, a fresh start as we bring this video to a close. Take a moment to reflect. We've talked about 6 types of household items to consider decluttering before 70. But this isn't just about getting rid of things. It's about shaping a home and a life that reflects who you are now. Every item you release isn't a loss, it's a step. A step toward clarity, toward ease, toward peace of mind. So what resonated with you the most? Maybe it was the overstuffed kitchen drawers. Maybe it was the forgotten piles of paperwork. Or maybe it was the quiet weight of sentimental items you haven't touched in years. Whatever it was, let it be a gentle invitation to create space for what truly matters now. Because decluttering isn't about removing the past. It's about reclaiming your present and stepping into your future with intention. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below, sharing one thing you're planning to let go of and how you believe it will make a difference in your day-to-day life. Your stories inspire us. Your support fuels this channel, and your journey matters. If this video helped, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one.